Alright, it's been 2 or 3 weeks since we replaced the deck on this trailer. We're going to pick up a Farmall M, and we're hooked up, so let's go. Made it to the place. See if we can find the tractor. What have we gotten ourselves into this time? So tucked into this shed is a 1942 Farmall M with a wide front. And judging by the trees growing behind it, it has been sitting here for a long time. So the story with this tractor is there's a realtor trying to sell this property because the lady who owns it, husband passed away. Now it's the unfortunate story of as you get older, it's harder and harder to keep these things running. So it's been sitting for a while. But that's not a problem for us. We will still try our best to get her going. We're gonna have to clear out some of these trees, and then maybe we can pull it out into that field. So I was having trouble with air getting in this tire. Took the valve out. Seems to be working now. I don't have the tool to remove the core, but you can just use pliers to take that off. Alright, let's see what happens. We got air in both the tires. They are both slowly leaking, but should be enough to get it on the trailer. See if it's in gear. Come back. Yeah, it was in gear. And also the brakes on. There we go. All right. Yeah, it helps to take the brake off. I'm gonna have to steer it. It's a miracle.
I know. God. It's a 1953 miracle.
It's
so
actually.
I think this is a 1952 or?
No, it's
I thought
42.
It was, yeah, I looked with the serial number. I think it was a 42.
Yeah, if you look up the serial number, it's a 1942.
I thought it was 52. The hood on this side is toast. You see that? Oh, sweet. Coming out.
Should be enough though to turn the wheels a little.
Shit over here though.
Alright, got it moved back. That tree's in the way now though. First good look at it in the daylight.
How does this? Yeah.
Every time it's annoying.
Gotcha. You got it, man. Beautiful.
As long as weight, as long as we have some tongue weight, we're good. I think it's far enough forwards. Now we're gonna put the chains on. All right, we got her loaded up. 2 straps on the front, 2 chains and binders on the back. This thing only weighs, should weigh only about 6,000 pounds. We got the Cub Cadet. Putting the hammer on down in the left lane on 95. Alright, it's the next morning. We made it home fine. Miraculously, the tires are still holding air. So now let's get it off the trailer. Just loses traction here. Pulls it fine on the concrete. So we got the Farmall moved over here. Now we're gonna take the hood off. This clip is stuck. It's a big old 4-cylinder engine. And it looks like the manifold was changed from the kerosene distillate to a gasoline. Now I want to get the spark plugs out, see what's in the cylinders, and then put some penetrating oil in. We have to blow out around here. We don't want any stuff falling into the cylinders. Cylinder number 4 looks good. Number 2 is rusty. That's not promising. But number 1's a little rusty. Now I'm just going to go around spraying everything with penetrating oil. Because eventually all these bolts are going to have to come off, so start soaking them now. I want to save this emblem. It's cool how it's all patinaed. Then when we restore this tractor, I'll put a new emblem on, a reproduction. And I want to get this grill off so we can start getting that mouse nest out of there as soon as possible. Want to get all the grease off here, or as much of it as we can, before starting to tear into the engine, because right now it's all sealed up pretty much. Looks like that seal is definitely leaking. I don't think there should be any oil in this compartment. pretty heavy. This belt pulley actually looks pretty good. The paper on it is in more or less good condition. It's not a real farm tractor unless there's random like baling wire and wire holding things on. Alright, now that we're a little more clean, I'm gonna start tearing into this tractor, starting with draining the engine oil. And while I was down here, I noticed the whole oil pan is smashed in. They must have run into something, a stump, I don't know. But probably gonna need a new oil pan. I mean, it's holding, but yeah, there's definitely gonna be some water. Don't have to catch the water. This is like perfectly clean. It wasn't that much water, which is good. It's normal for water to accumulate in these over time with condensation. I'm gonna get the oil filter off, just see how it looks. And that's clean. Just put this back on. Now onto the transmission. Looks like there's a small plug there, and then I know there's a bigger plug in the back at the bottom. So I'm just going to take out this small plug and drain out like half the fluid. A little bit of water. Let's open up the back. There's going to be probably a lot more water here. It's nice that none of these plugs are super tight. It's a lot of water, and that's just water. There's no oil in there. They separate over time. There we are. Still a lot of water. Alright, no spillage. Now first peek into the engine. Pop the valve cover off. Try and dump that water on the ground. It looks pretty good. Alright, now I'm gonna hit the tops of the valves to check if they're stuck. That one is stuck. That one is free. Stuck. It's free. Free. That one's free. That one's stuck. That one's free. Alright, so we have one. So we have 4 stuck valves. These line wrenches are nice. If you use the normal open end wrenches, you're just gonna strip these out. Got the oil line off. That'll make it a little easier to get to those bolts. This original line is actually in great condition. Yeah, I don't know if that's supposed to be in the gas tank. It's actually pretty clean. Usually these are much more disgusting. Put that back on just for now, so the oil doesn't drip all over the place. Should come right out. I can't get that other bolt off the carburetor, so let's just see how many manifold bolts we can break. That one came off. Looks like they have brass nuts on here. This manifold was definitely changed at some point. I plan on putting a LP manifold on here, get a little more power. Probably helps that I soaked these with penetrating oil for a couple weeks. So let's get this manifold off. Those washers. The smell is just wafting out of these ports of mice, poo, and old water. That's not very promising. Let's see, what are those? Those are the exhaust ports. Yeah, so this was sitting with the exhaust open, even though it was under that barn. Tool of choice for removing this. Oh, it's gonna pop right out. That little washer. And then I just drive a chisel in there to spread that apart, and it looks like it's gonna pull right off. Looks like someone's been trying to take this off with a pipe wrench, but it's loose anyway. Just a bunch of old grease in there. It least it has grease. Got the covers off the steering box. Should be able to spin this right out. Just like that. Now we can start taking the rocker shaft off. First we're gonna have to get this oil line off. I guess I'm talking through this kind of like I know what I'm doing, but this is my first time tearing into a M. Now we want to loosen these starting at the outside, just go a little bit at a time. This way you can prevent warping the rocker shaft. There it is. Let's see, all these move. You know, it's kind of debatable whether or not you have to do this. You've got guys that have been doing this for like 70 years and have never kept the push rods in order and have been perfectly fine. And you've got guys who have seen 4 engines blow up from not keeping the push rods in order, so I do it because I feel better about it. So that Oliver 70 I did, I didn't keep the push rods in order because I couldn't, because I was mismatching them from piecing 2 engines together, and it runs just fine. Let's see how much of an environmental disaster we can cause. I don't even know how much coolant this holds. I think it's a lot though. Town actually does a chemical recycling every year. The thermostat housing. And that screw's gone. Take these off from the outside in so it doesn't warp. Okay, now to get the head off, it's probably pretty heavy, so I'm going to use the engine hoist. So just putting a chain going right to these studs is the easiest. Probably not ideal, but it will be perfectly fine for this weight. So the cylinders look about as I expected, which is bad. I mean, you can see this one is pitted just from the initial inspection. I'm going to say this one's pitted beyond reuse. So we're gonna vacuum that out and then pressure wash again. Before I pressure wash, I want to take this oil filter housing off just so I can get behind there.